I didn't realize this until way too late in my career, but it changed everything for me as a goalkeeper. But before I get into this video, if you're new here, my name is Andrew Pannenberg. I'm a professional goalkeeper. It is my mission to help young goalkeepers like you develop supreme confidence and dominate on game day. If you get any value out of this video, like, subscribe, share with a goalkeeper friend. The bigger we build this community, it'll be a win-win for both of us. So back when I was in high school as an academy goalkeeper, I didn't have the greatest mindset and approach when it came to training and games. I'd go to school, I'd go to training in the afternoon and kind of show up half-hearted. Obviously, I worked hard, but I didn't really view every rep in training as really important. Some days I was tired, would kind of just go through the motions and almost just check off a box of training for the day. But then when it came to games on the weekends, it was go time. Before the game, I would watch highlights of goalkeeper saves. I would put on my Beats headphones. I'd be listening to the rap music, the EDM music, all that stuff, because it's game day. And I was trying to get myself hyped up and ready to go for the game. I found though, however, that the confidence that I was looking for on game day, when I would take the headphones off, put my jersey on, go out and warm up, and as the whistle blew for the game, I didn't feel as confident as I wanted to feel. And for me, the answer was, I got to get even more hyped up on game day. So it was even more watching the highlights. It was even more of the EDM music and all that. But as the months and the years went on, that was not the solution that ended up helping me. So this went on for a long time. Academy, and I would even say early college. And it wasn't until I met a mentor of mine, shout out to Ni Sobo, former NFL running back and now mindset coach. But it wasn't until he said this line to me that really changed everything. So talking about some of these issues I was having, he told me, and I want you to take note of this. He said, every day is game 7. Every day is game 7. And I want you to take a second and just think about that and what it might mean. So what is game 7? Game 7 is the last game of a best of 7 series, mainly in like basketball and baseball. But what game 7 represents is usually a playoff game where both teams have won 3 games each and everything comes down to this last game. And it's usually in the playoffs, so you've played a whole season under your belt and now this game is like do or die. A lot of times this happens in like the final game, the final series, the championship series, again in NBA, baseball, where each team has won 3 games and now every single bit of the season comes down to this one game. And what do most athletes do? Most young athletes especially. They try to get themselves hyped up for that one game because it's the big game. And while that does logically make sense, the more that you understand how our minds work and just sports psychology, like Ni, my mentor, said, every day is game 7, right? So when we put all the pressure on ourselves to make the most of that one game, it's almost paradoxical to where we put too much pressure on ourselves, too much tension. And like me, when I was that a young academy keeper, I didn't put enough pressure and attention to the everyday process. I tried to just make it happen on game day. And I think, like I said before, this is an issue that I say what most young athletes, most young goalkeepers try to do. But no amount of watching certain videos, no amount of music is going to get you ready for the game. It might help you feel good and kind of increase that energy just by a little bit. But at the end of the day, every day has to be game 7. Every practice, every training session, so that when game 7 does come, or just game day in general, you've seen everything you need to see, you've felt the pressure, and now you can just let all of your work just flow out of you and you can just play free. So I started to apply this mindset to my trainings and my games. I started focusing at a much higher level in training. Every rep mattered. Every small sided game mattered. Every little thing I did in training, I was locked in, I was focused, and treated it just like it was a game. And then when the games did come, I felt looser, I felt lighter, I felt freer because I had put all the work in and now it was time just to let it shine, right? I didn't have the pressure on myself to have to perform. So I felt looser, lighter, and just ready to play as opposed to tight, tense. And for me, that state never produces our best playing. So once I started playing from that mindset, when I was in college, I won a semi-pro national championship in USL2. I earned the starting job in college at Wake Forest University and started to have a lot more success in my life and my career. So The big lesson here is we must approach every day and every session like it's game day, like it matters, because it does. So what are some practical things that you can do to apply this new mindset? So I've got 3 things for you that I think will be really helpful. So number 1, do your pre-game routine every single day before training, right? So like those things I talked about, I think it's awesome to watch goalkeeper saves just to see it before you do it. Listen to some good music to hype yourself up, but don't just reserve those for game day. Do those before training as well, right? And you might tell me, oh, Andrew, I don't have enough time on training days. You know, I'm going from school or this or this. Okay, fair enough. But you can do something, a smaller form of your game day routine, right? Maybe you have more time on game day, but on training days, do the same routine. But if you don't have time, scale it back a little bit, right? So instead of watching 10 minutes of highlights, maybe just watch 1 or 2. Instead of listening to your whole rap or EDM playlist, listen to 1 or 2 songs, right? Just by doing a little bit of it is going to help you get into that mind state, as opposed to thinking you have to do it all. No, you don't need to. Just do a little bit. But take that pre-game routine, which you would do on game day, and find a way to incorporate that into your daily training routine. Again, if you have to scale back, no problem. It's still going to help you get into that mind state. Number 2, add more pressure to training. And what are some practical ways we can do this? So I was actually just at the field the other day with a friend of mine. We were working on some distribution, and obviously in a game, let's just say distribution in a game, if you have a bad pass or you give it away to the opponent, you might get scored on in your own net or a turnover or something like that. And there's immediate consequences. In training, however, if you're doing a set of like 10 balls, you might mess up 3 of them or something, but it's like in the game, just one of those mistakes is going to cost you. So you need to add more pressure to your training. So what's a good example? When I was at the field with my friend, we made it so every pass that you missed, we were hitting balls at a certain target. Every time you missed the target, it was 10 push-ups, right? So we obviously missed the target, but you want your body to feel and your mind to feel a certain sense of pressure in training. You want to put the pressure on in training so that in the game, you've felt that pressure before. Training shouldn't be this completely free and no pressure. No, you want to feel the pressure before. So when the pressure is actually on, you know what it's felt like before. And doing push-ups, like it's not that big of a deal compared to the cost of giving the ball away in a game, but it's still something, right? So you can get creative. That was just one way that I've done it, and that's really helped. But add some consequences for mistakes that happen in training. And mistakes aren't bad. We're going to make mistakes. We're humans. We're goalkeepers. It's always going to happen. But you just want to make sure that your body and your mind can feel some pressure in training and know that there's some consequences you have to pay for making a mistake or not playing at your highest level in training. And number 3, this has been a game-changing one for me. Find more ways to make game day a more fun experience. So, like I've said in the past, game day was this tense thing for me. It was, okay, I got to show up today. I got to perform. I need to do everything to get me hyped up and ready to go. But once you've started to adopt the mindset that every day is game day, every day is game 7, you will have put in so much work during the week and felt that pressure to where, like I've said over in this video, game day is now this thing where you can just let all your work flow right out of you. And for me, that flowing of just letting it all happen comes from a state of happiness, of joy. So what are some practical things you can do on game day? Maybe if your game is at night, you go to a coffee shop in the morning with a family member or a friend. You go outside on a nice day, you go for a walk, you walk your dog. Obviously, don't do anything that's too like strenuous or whatever, but find ways that you can get yourself into this kind of happy, free mind state on game day so that when the game does come around that afternoon, it's not this crazy big event. You hear some of the best athletes in the world, their approach to like a Super Bowl. They talk about it's the same approach. They don't do anything special because it's the Super Bowl. That would be almost idiotic to just switch up all the plans and routines that you've had that have made you successful all year. No, you stick to the same plan. So find ways to make game day fun. I think you know what helps you get into that happy, joyous state. So find ways that you can incorporate that into your game day. So just to wrap up, this has just been a game-changing mindset for me, especially, like I said, as a young academy keeper, college keeper. I tried to make game day this big thing, and I think this is almost something that we've been taught, that like, oh, it's game day, got to be ready. And obviously, yeah, you got to be ready, but it's like, if you've put in the work during the week, it's time to just let yourself have fun. Let all the work flow out of you. And one of the biggest powers of this mindset is that most of your competitors and most of your teammates are not thinking like this. They're thinking in that old mindset, like we talked about, and they play tight, they play tense, and ultimately don't show up as the best version of themselves. So for you, I want you to approach every single day like it matters, because it does, right? Be intentional with your diet. Be intentional with the work in training. Be intentional with what you do after training, the extra work that you put in. Be intentional with your sleep. All these little things that I always talk about, but do them at such a high level on a day-to-day basis so that when game day does come around, it's time just to let your light shine. Have some fun, just show out on the field. So for me, this has been one of the biggest things that have helped me to perform my best on game day, to have fun, and just be the best version of myself. So I hope this video has given you some value. Apply those 3 things, right? Do your pregame routine every day. Add more pressure into your training. And 3, find ways to make game day fun. And I think you'll find some amazing results from using this mindset. So if you got any value out of this video, like, subscribe, share with a goalkeeper friend, and we'll talk soon.